So, is anyone operating the slide from there? Yeah. Yeah. This is the next slide.
We can see, sir.
Yeah. Next slide. Yeah, I'll just give a brief introduction of about SIDBI, which is a financial institution which is owned by the central government, and also the shares are held by few of the other public sector banks. So we are basically a government organization, and we don't function like a typical bank in the sense that we are a development financial institution, and we have been formed for the promotion, financing, and development of the micro, small, and medium enterprises sector. So these are our various spheres of activities, and the present meeting does not require me to really elaborate on all those things. I'll straight away go to the schemes. Next slide. Yeah, this is the latest revision in the MSME definition that the government has made. So with this, as you can see, the medium and the investment in plant and machinery and equipment is 50 crores. So as long as the investment in plant and machinery, here building and land and building are not included, only the equipments and plant and machinery. So if it is less than 50 crore, the entity continues to be a MSME. Plus, it has also to comply with the turnover condition, which is 250 crore. If it is within the 250 crore limit, then it continues to be MSME. So for being an MSME, it has to comply with both. Whereas earlier, it was 10 crore investment in plant and machinery. That was the maximum ceiling. So once they cross 10 crore investment, then they become large. They are not micro, small, or medium enterprise. So this is the latest revision that has been done. So as a result, more number of entities get classified as MSMEs. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. Basically, we have a regional office concept. We have about 10 regional offices all over India, and 76 branches. And as I said, our mandate has been to promote financial and development of micro, small, and medium enterprises. Next slide. Yeah, these are the direct credit products that there are two distinct divisions, like direct credit and indirect credit. Indirect credit is nothing but we provide resource support to banks, NBFCs, and microfinance institutions for on lending to micro, small, and medium enterprises. That we classify under indirect. So direct credit products are those products where we give loan directly to the MSME units. So in that we give both a term loan and working capital also. As you can see, these scheme names are given briefly. So each scheme has a one slide as we go into the presentation. We can go to the next slide. So we also have schemes specifically for equipment finance, and even for big projects like land, acquisition of land, construction of building, and acquisition of machinery, like a composite project along with working capital. We can go to the next slide. First slide, which is the scheme name is AROG. This is specifically scheme designed for keeping in view the COVID-19 pandemic. And for MSMEs who are manufacturing any products which is related to fighting coronavirus, like pulse oximeters and other drugs for remdesivir, dexamethasone, azithromycin, etc., ventilators, PPEs, either they can manufacture this or they can manufacture parts, small parts of these products. So they are eligible to be covered under the scheme. Under the scheme, the maximum loan amount is 2 crore. The highlight is the interest rate, which is between 5.5 to 6%. Under this scheme, they can either avail a term loan for 5 years or working capital term loan up to 18 months if their requirement is for working capital purpose. In case if they are going to purchase equipment or equipment, then they can avail term. In this scheme, we fund the entire project cost. Suppose if the machinery cost is, let us say, 1 crore, so the entire 1 crore will be available as loan. 25% they have to give security. 25% of the loan amount. Yeah, next. Yeah, next is the SWAS scheme, which is again the purpose is same. However, here the product profile is different. Here the MSMEs who are manufacturing oxygen cylinders, oxygen generators, and oxygen concentrators, liquid oxygen. All these entities get covered under this scheme. Here, not only the manufacturers of these oxygen cylinders, but also the people who are providing service in the form of transporting, storing, or refilling these oxygen cylinders are also eligible under this scheme. So, any of your clients offering any of these services or manufacturing any of these products can be covered under the two schemes. That is anything which is related to COVID-19. In case anything, if it is not covered here also, you can get in touch with our local branch officers whose contact numbers we have given at the end of the slide, and then check up the eligibility. So here also the maximum term loan is 2 crore, again for purchase of machinery or for purchase of raw material. If it's a raw material, then working capital term loan is up to 18 months. Term loan is up to 5 crore. Here the interest rate is again much lesser than the previous scheme, which is about 4.5 to 5 crore. Here also no contribution. Again, here there is a mandatory FD component. You have to give the entire loan amount, entire project cost is funded by loan. However, there is a mandatory fixed deposit component of 40%. Yeah, yeah. Go to the next slide. So this is a plain vanilla term loan. So as I said, we offer finance for setting up a new entity or for expansion of existing manufacturing facility. So it may be like for existing entity, it may be expansion by way of just acquisition of machinery, or they may have been allotted a new land in SIPCOT or SIPCO or private industrial land, whichever they want to acquire for setting up of another unit. That also we finance, or a totally greenfield unit, which goes for setting up a manufacturing unit is also we also fund that. So here the normally the promoter contribution is 25%, 33% is for new entities. Green, totally green. So the interest rate is in the range of 8.8 to 9.1, the floating or fixed, which is the choice of the customer. Normally we give loans up to 8 years for projects involving construction of factory building. If it's only the acquisition of machinery, normally it is 5, but it's not we don't strictly restrict it to 5, depending upon the nature of project and the number of machines involved, and the timelines in which the machines arrive. We discuss all these things with the customer and decide the repayment schedule. Yeah, next slide. Next slide. Yeah, working capital. So we are not since we are not a bank, we don't have a banking platform. We have entered into MOU with City Union Bank. Earlier it was IDBI Bank, for providing banking platform to operate our CC limits. So we sanction CC limits to our entities, MSME entities, and they will operate it in City Union Bank platform. Uh, uh, they just have to avail the banking facilities from the City Union Bank platform. That's also all the other things like sanction monitoring and yearly renewal, submission of stock statement, stock audit, everything is done by SIDBI. So the interest rate is 8.5 to 9.1, linked to our PLR at floating rates. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, this is it's nothing but the lab loan against property. So, the immobile property, we give 60% or 50 to 60% as loan amount. The maximum loan is 10 crore. These are existing MSME units in existence for more than 3 years. So the eligibility criteria, financial criteria is there, like 2 year net profits in the 2 years out of the last 3. So this is one of the criteria. So here exclusive charge on immovables is required. So here also we give loans even up to 15 years, including moratorium of 6 months. This is a business loan. without, it's not linked to any project. So they have the flexibility of using it for any business purpose, whether it can be working capital or capex. Next slide. This is nothing but the emergency credit line that guarantee scheme, that nothing but the Government of India guaranteed scheme for MSMEs. That is, we have named it as very, so wherein the customers get 20% of uh, uh, their existing outstanding as additional liquidity support. So this is for our existing customers. So I don't want to dwell much upon this. Next slide. So we have another product for if an entity is going just for the purchase of machinery equipment, then we have this product called Speed, wherein we have signed agreements with the various OEMs across India uh, for financing their supply of machineries. So here, 100% of the cost is financed um, with FD of security deposit of 20 to 25% of the loan amount. So here the interest rate is in the 7.99 to 8.42. You can say 8 to 8.25. So here 1 crore is for new to SIDBI customers and 2 crore for our existing customers. Maximum loan amount is 5 crores. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, here the difference between speed and speed plus is that here the existing entities with 3-year operations. That is the difference. Whereas the earlier slide, 3 years were not required. So there was a difference. And here the maximum cap again is 1 crore for new to a bank and new to SIDBI, and 2 crore for existing customers. Other things are same. Security deposit is same, and maximum tenure is 5 years. Interest rate is also same. Yeah, next slide. And for those OEMs where SIDBI has not entered into any tie-up, we have formulated this Pratham scheme, wherein we can finance any machineries which the MSME entities are purchasing from any OEMs with whom SIDBI does not have any tie-up. So here the maximum loan amount is 3 crore with the FD component of 30 to 40% of the loan amount, depending on the tenure. Here the maximum repayment we offer is 7 years with the interest rate of 7.67 to 8.25. Here again the promoter contribution is nil and the entire project is financed by way of loan. Yeah, next slide. This is a scheme for rooftop solar, which is called as STAR. Here again the 100% of the machine cost is funded, but the maximum term loan that we give under this is 2.5 crore. And here again the collateral in the form of FD of 15 to 25%. So the maximum repayment period again here is 5 years. So interest rate is around 7.95 to 8.71. Yeah, next slide. This is top-up scheme for our existing customers. And here again, the 100% of the equipment cost is funded. So not much of thing to talk about in this scheme. Since it's for the existing customers, I'll just skip it. You can go to the next slide. Yeah, this is receivable finance. We actually, the MSMEs which are supplying to large corporates, those large corporates are availing bill discounting limits from us. And the bills of MSMEs are discounted by us based on the acceptance on the bill of exchange by these large corporates. There's nothing but the bill discounting scheme. Yeah, next slide. You can go to next slide. This is actually the TREDS arrangement, which is not relevant to this meeting. For bill discounting nowadays, RBI has mandated to all purchaser corporates, big purchaser corporates, to get onboarded on TREDS platform, so that e-discounting happens on this online platform. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, there's a credit delivery arrangement wherein we have signed agreements with Electronica Finance to finance loans of their customers. So here it's a collaborative thing where smaller loans are sanctioned with the CLC as a subsidy. And here again, we don't insist on any promoter, insist on any security at our end, but Electronica Finance end, they stipulate security of 20 to 25% margin. These are basically small loans for CLCSS subsidies. Yeah, next. These are the contact details. Even I'm Sunil, my name is given there. In addition, we have given the names of in charges of our Coimbatore, Tirupur, and Erode branch offices. Plus, you can also find Mr. Bhaskar, Mr. Rafi Mohammed, who are sitting in Chennai, who are my colleagues sitting in Chennai. And of course, Mr. Mahesh, who is coordinated this meeting. So, in case of any requirement to your clients on the based on the schemes that I have listed out, you want to contact us. The email IDs and the mobile numbers are available. So you can always contact us for any additional information or any clarification. So any doubts or any clarifications on these presentations or any schemes, you can ask me.
Sir, in chat box, there are certain questions asked by our members.
Yes, sir.
One question is relating to COVID-related financial assistance. Whether existing units are eligible or only new new units are eligible. Only existing unit or even new units are also eligible under COVID-related financial assistance.
In this case, suppose there is an existing entity, for example, existing entity which is presently not manufacturing or into some other activity, but they're
Sir, your voice is not clear.
if it is specifically set up for this kind of thing, then they are covered. So no restriction.
Then another question, whether FDR is to be in the name of promoters or third-party FDR allowed?
Third-party FD is not allowed, sir, because we are not a bank. Since we are SIDBI and we are a financial institution, there is a RBI restriction on us not to accept third-party fixed deposits. It has to be on the name of the company or the MSME entity.
Then is there any login period for FDR?
Lock-in period is 3 years.
Yes, okay. Then what's the rate of interest provided for FDR?
It will be around 5.5, 5 to 5.5.
Then another question, whether speed and speed plus are available for those machineries eligible for ATUPs?
No, I didn't get your question.
Whether speed and speed plus are available for those machineries eligible for ATUPs?
No. This speed and speed plus, we have not classified based on the subsidy aspect. We have just tied up with renowned OEMs across India, and most of them are eligible for subsidy under ATUPs. But we definitely do not have them in mind while signing the agreement. Our objective was to give loans to these entities who are purchasing machines from these OEMs. Around 40 OEMs we have signed agreement. But the eligibility for a particular machine, to check its eligibility, that we have to check the ATUPs guidelines.
Another question, subsidy for machineries purchased only from OEM or from any other manufacturers?
No. Actually, OEMs or non-OEMs, it doesn't restrict. So subsidy can be availed for if the machine is eligible for subsidy as per the ATEP's guidelines or CLCS's guidelines, then there is no issue. Whether this is our internal scheme, this is our product, so but that doesn't restrict from getting subsidy.
Whether that list of OEM is available in SIDBI portal
Yeah,
itself,
it's
sir.
available. I think Mr. Mahesh can by mail.
Sir,
So
I'm Mahesh here, sir.
even if the OEM is not, even if the entity is purchasing machines from a supplier who is not a OEM with whom we have any agreements, then also we have another scheme called Pratham to Fund. So that's not an issue. Okay, Mr. Mahesh can send you the list of OEMs by mail.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you. Members, any other doubt you wanted to clarify?
I will just ask Mr. Mohammad Rafi, who is a colleague of mine sitting in Chennai, just to say hello to you all. Rafi, you can hear us?
Sir, I'm AGM working with Sunil, sir.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, switch on the
Anytime.
Yeah.
I'm available. Anytime you can call.
Yeah, actually, Mr.
Sir Mahesh will share my mobile number. Reach me anytime so that.
I'll give a brief background about Mr. Rafi. He has worked in Tirupur for more than 5 years. So he has extensive knowledge about that area, and he has extensively handled OEM machinery financing when he was in charge of Chennai branch. So that's what. So this is my team. So any other questions you can ask me?
Sir, one member asked, is there any product for traders?
Traders, as of now, no, sir.
Okay.
That is why there is a SIDBI. There is a difference, SIDBI and a bank. So our mandate is different. Whereas bankers have a plethora of products under their disposal for all requirements. Whereas SIDBI is slightly different. So our because we are subject to RBI audits where these aspects are checked, whether we deviate from our mandate to or deviate from the activity mandated for us. So traders, as of now, we don't fund.
Members, any other clarification you want? Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, two more questions.
Yeah.
Is it possible to contribute that 30% as promoter's margin instead of keeping FDR because loan will be lesser?
In which scheme? In ROG and SWAS, yes, it is possible.
Okay, sir. Okay. And another one is there any product available for working capital without collateral?
Working capital without collateral? No.
Okay.
It will not be available with any bank.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Another question. The issue in 8 house is that promoter has to contribute 20% cost of the machinery. I think he just given an information. Like what can you? Here Speed and Speed Plus has no promoter contribution. You want to clarify anything, Mr. Uday Kumar?
Rafi, can you answer this? I think what he's asking is 8F's contribution is 20%, whereas we are saying nil contribution under Speed and Speed Plus.
That FD component is compulsory. 20 after 20.
Exactly.
And 100% financed by SIDBI. Okay.
In that
That
case,
is the
will they
thing.
get?
100%
That's what it.
So
But
there is
he asked if there is no promoter contribution, ATF will become ineligible, like that he asked.
promoter contribution.
If there is no promoter contribution, ATF will become ineligible, like that he asked.
It is not like that, sir. It is not like that. It is not. Why means, see,
Okay.
promoter 100% finance will be provided by SIDBI in this maximum 100%. Okay, sir. And suppose if you
Okay.
can give 20%, that will be treated as part of this one. That is not an issue.
Okay. Then one more question. With regard to cash credit facility, how SIDBI and City Union Bank coordinate with the borrower?
Yeah, इसमें the coordination point of view, actually, when the customer applies for a CC limit, he applies with SIDBI. SIDBI
Okay.
processes application, gets the necessary information, and SIDBI sanctions the loan. The customer belongs to SIDBI.
Okay.
So once sanction is done at SIDBI, then SIDBI intimates this sanction to City Union Bank.
Okay.
Customer has to parallelly go to City Union Bank and open a cash credit account. So by that time, SIDBI has already intimated to him that there is also a forwarding letter which the customer will carry, which is signed by a SIDBI official, telling that he has been sanctioned CC limit of this much, and an account needs to be opened. So this letter is handed over to the branch people at City Union Bank, and they will open the CC account. Now, once the customer completes the pre-disbursement formalities and other security creation formalities at the SIDBI, then again the SIDBI sends one more communication to City Union Bank to activate the account by setting a drawing power based on stock statements submitted by the customer at SIDBI. So here, City Union Bank completely acts based on the instructions given by SIDBI. So they don't act upon themselves to sanction a higher limit, lower limit. It is not under their purview. Their purview is limited to the extent of providing banking platform only. Every other instruction flows from SIDBI. That's how it works.
Okay. Sir, is there any prepayment penalty will be levied for term loans out of own funds?
Yeah, prepayment for different schemes, it's different. There are some schemes where there are no prepayments, whereas this AROG, SWAS, and all these schemes don't have prepayment. Whereas the schemes with the fixed rate of interest have prepayments. It differs. Yes, it is there, but for some schemes it is.
Okay.
You need to really get in touch with the branches to in which scheme under you are being funded. Based on that, it works out.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Sunil sir, Rafi, and Mahesh sir for joining with us in this evening and
Sir,
interact with our members.
sir. Sir, I would like to thank
Can we
everybody,
conclude,
sir.
Welcome, sir.
Hello.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.